Hi there, I'm Keith Cawley, and this is Thrive, a Bridgestone America's podcast where we explore our company through compelling conversations with teammates across our organization. We talk all the time about Bridgestone's evolution to become a sustainable solutions company, expanding on our core tire expertise to develop data-driven digital solutions. And while we very likely think of mobility concepts like fleet management or tire sensor platforms when we hear the word solutions, it's important to remember that every aspect of our complex company is moving together on this solutions journey. For instance, did you know that Bridgestone has a credit card company in its portfolio? CFNA, formerly known as Credit First National Association, offers payment solutions for our customers and consumers, and they're innovating in their space right alongside the rest of Bridgestone. Today, we talk to Brian Zempel, president of CFNA, about where his credit card division fits into the larger Bridgestone universe, how it's helping deliver on our North Star and Bridgestone E8 commitment, and some big partnership and expansion news that they're breaking right here on Thrive. We hope you enjoy this conversation. Well, we are joined today by Brian Zempel, and you are the president of Credit First National Association, also known as CFNA, and we're going to talk a little bit about exactly what that is and where it fits in Bridgestone. But Brian, thanks so much for joining us.
Keith, it is an honor. As you know, I've been asking you, please put me on the podcast, and finally it's come to fruition, and I really, I loved your podcast. I am a listener, a frequent listener.
Thank you.
And I seriously am very honored to be here and try to represent our brand favorably.
We are on script so far. You're reading verbatim off the prompter. Really appreciate it. I also have a folder in my inbox that's just all of Brian's podcast guest appearance requests. So we're going to be able to empty that out now. So it's nice. No, but I think this is a fun topic of helping people learn again about different areas of the business that they may have a little bit of knowledge about, but not a full depth of knowledge, but also some exciting things that are going on for you, like the rest of the company, to a scale right now. We usually like to start with the background of the guest to get your perspective of where we're going, but I think to help place where CFNA fits and where your background then fits into that in Bridgestone, let's start with what is CFNA and where does it fit in our universe?
All right. CFNA, it's a great question, and you're right, Keith. Most people don't realize that CFNA has actually been around since the late 70s. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, it was born out of the Firestone days. There's one of our forefathers at Firestone had the brilliant idea, hey, we should have a bank, a credit card bank, a special purpose credit card bank that will help our customers afford our products and services. Mm-hmm. And that's where CFNA was born. It was really born in the late 70s. It is based in Cleveland, Ohio. It is an Ohio special purpose charter bank. And today, there are less than 10 such banks in the country. And you wonder, why is that? There used to be many more, but through consolidation and bank sales and what have you, they've just been whittled down to this exclusive group, which we are one, and we're proud of that. And our goal at CFNA is essentially to provide a credit card with promotional financing is the major value proposition that we offer to folks so that they can afford and have an option as their preferred way to pay in our stores. And we have roughly 400 people that sit in Cleveland, Ohio, in one centralized building. It's one of our strategic strengths is we've been all together, and we have people that look like staff that are in the tower, and then we have people with headsets on, kind of like I have on today, that are answering customer service, collections, merchant inquiries on a daily basis. And it's a very vibrant group, and essentially, it's been in existence for a long time, supporting primarily consumers, not the commercial side of the business. We do support some commercial clients on a smaller scale, but it's really designed for people like you and me and our audience, people like us that need a credit card solution when they come to see us.
Yeah, and I know, we talk a lot about the footprints, and obviously Bridgestone headquartered in Nashville, big tech center in Akron, Ohio, and when we talk about the Firestone brand, especially history in Ohio, a lot of people think of Akron, but we'll give the shout out. You said Cleveland Brook Park is the dot on the map, right? As an Ohio and East Cleveland kid, I know the names of the towns, but that's where, when we talk about the footprint of Bridgestone in Northeast Ohio, it's Akron, it's Ann Brook Park, there's Columbiana, has a Firestone Ag Testing Center. So it is a nice regional footprint for us that CFNA is a big part of up there. Yeah.
That's right, and people forget about that, but Bridgestone does have a great history, as you just described, of the state of Ohio. Is really well represented in our ecosystem, and I'm just elated to be a part of it because I actually grew up like you. Yeah. I actually grew up in Cleveland, Ohio.
Well, this is now going to become a Northeast Ohio sports fandom conversation.
I'm
We're
a tortured
shifting off.
Cleveland Browns
so sorry,
fan,
everybody.
So, it's just and Cleveland Indians fan and Cavs. So my life is built character for me, sir.
Maybe we shouldn't go down that path. Yeah. We have too many open wounds to tend to in that regard. But so then we now see a little bit of what CFNA is, where it fits into the Bridgestone universe. So then, what is your background in your career and journey that has brought you now to president and leader of CFNA?
Yeah, my story, and I'm so fortunate to be here. I've been excited throughout my 6-year career. It'll be 6 years for me here in October. Mm-hmm. And I have to thank TJ Higgins. He's my first boss and the person that was foolish enough.
I would drop TJ's title right now, but it's very long and I can't remember all of it off the top of my head.
Just say global.
Very important global executive of sorts, yes.
That's correct. He's a great man, but he hired me, and my background, Keith, is I've got over 25 years now of experience in financial services. I grew up in banking/financial services and ended up working 19 years in one spot, and that was with HSBC, who's a big international bank. They bought one of the U.S.-based credit card organizations. But I've done I've done mortgage lending, I've done auto lending, I've done credit card lending. So I've done lending on several different product sets. And then I was hired to come to Bridgestone from Kohl's department store. And I was living in Milwaukee, and most people don't know it, but Kohl's actually has one of the largest private label credit card portfolios in the world. Over 45 million people have a Kohl's charge in their pocket. And they love the Kohl's cash.
I'm quite familiar. Look, this can be a whole different conversation. My mom is going to be listening to this one and only this one because she has questions about Kohl's cash.
I'll have to get her some 30% off coupons.
Mainly, she actually doesn't have questions about how to get more Kohl's cash because she spends Kohl's cash and then earns more Kohl's cash. So it's actually, she knows exactly how to get more Kohl's cash.
So I completely get it. So from that program, I learned a ton about rewards and loyalty and dealing with retailers, and that's Bridgestone found me. And Bridgestone hired me away from Kohl's to come be the president here, and I succeeded one of our great longtime executives. He had over 25 years with the company. He retired, Dean Miller, and I was able to take over the portfolio and the president, chair at CFNA, and have been really trying to make great things happen with our team throughout my 6 years. And so I've just, that's where I've been planted. And my task was simple, Keith. It was take what TJ said and others said. We think this business is really great, but we think it could be even better. So what ideas you have, and that's what the team and I have been trying to deploy here over the last 6 years, is trying to just do more, grow the portfolio profitably, serve our customers better. And as I like to say, Keith, our whole premise on this is we really are a loyalty program wrapped around a credit card. Yeah. And that's our goal, is to bring our customers back into our Firestone, Bridgestone locations, whether they're company-owned or they're our dealer affiliates. Dealer affiliates are just as important to us, as we all know. So either way, our card is used in both channels, and we are just supposed to drive people back and hopefully complete that transaction, make them happy they're getting a good deal, and help them on their way, on their journey, if you will.
And we talked a little bit before as we were kind of talking about the conversation here, but the value proposition, if you were, the value that CFNA can bring to the enterprise is multiple things, but one of them is helping to cultivate that loyal customer base to feel like you are a regular, so to speak, and this becomes, we always say FCACs and our BSRO locations are part of the communities, and this is what can help cultivate that feeling of being part of the community, right?
Well said. Yeah. It's spot on. And, besides, our major value proposition, if you have one of our cards, is you get 6 months to pay for it. 6 months, you could pay it all in 3 payments or all in a sixth at a time, any purchase over $150 or more. And that is the piece. But then beyond that purchase, we, through working hand in hand with our marketing areas, we'll give you coupons to come back in the store. We'll give you alerts about some of our Epic promotions. So it really becomes a cohesive effort. It's very integrated, and that's how we win. And believe it or not, fun facts are 30%.
I hope we've got a long list of this. First fun fact of the day.
Over 30% of all the transactions that go on at one of our FCAC stores goes on a Firestone card, a CFNA product. And in some markets, like in the Northeast, there are some of our markets, it's over 50%.
Oh, wow.
So imagine just the power of 50% of your customers coming back, having a preferred way to pay that keeps them coming back. Plus that, last fun fact here in this segment, is the average transaction is 3 times higher when they put it on our card than if they put it on someone else's card, because they'll just realize that they could maybe not only take care of their tires, they can take care of other elements of their car. And so we get that bundled service piece going, and that's when you feel like a member. You feel like you're getting something that maybe you won't get if you go across to your mechanic across the street.
The peace of mind that comes with that, thinking ease of the Bridgestone E8 commitment.
Good emotion.
We are working through the connection points here. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I think that when I came to Bridgestone, I mean, and we have this conversation and a setup to questions similar to this a lot with our guests. What was their awareness level of what Bridgestone was when they joined? I had no clue that there was a credit division of Bridgestone when I joined the company. You being in that space, like when Bridgestone kind of came calling or when you saw the opportunity, like did you have awareness of that when you joined or before you joined?
Keith, that's a great question. The answer is no.
Yeah.
When I was recruited, I said, CF and who? I really didn't know, and I've been in the industry for that long. But as soon as I researched it, I'll tell you what got me here and what keeps me going is I love the Bridgestone B.
Yeah.
I love our Firestone brands. And when I saw that we had this credit card organization embedded inside of this great tire company, I just got more interested. And taking something that was curated and has been done very well over the years and then being given the opportunity to grow it and nurture it and hopefully make it even more than what it is, that's been my 6 years, and it still keeps me going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the things you wanted to talk about was why payments are so cool. So let's set up the question like you would like to have it set up, which is, Brian, why are payments, or why is the world of payments so cool, man?
Well, I'll tell you, my girls ask me that all the time. I have 3 daughters at home, and they know what their dad does, but they're also like, why do you keep doing this?
He's the inventor of Kohl's Cash.
I wish I was that cool. I'm not that cool, sir. But really, if you think about how you pay, the different ways that you pay. And even in the last 10 years, there's been more innovation in this space, if you really think about it, than almost any other space you can think of. And what do I mean? For instance, do you pay via Venmo?
I have on occasion.
On occasion, but people now pay via Venmo. That's how my girls want me to pay them. The ease at which you can get access to move your checking savings around, receive money, et cetera. It's just exploded. And then the options of how you pay, and even this new phenomenon, which everybody's talking about, buy now, pay later. When you go to a checkout and they'll say, you can either pay this or you can pay it in 4 installments and things. That's a new explosion in the last 3 years. And so that combination of things is what's made payments cool. It's not stale. It's ever evolving. And the reality is everybody has to pay with something. And furthermore, I tell my girls the reason why it's going to be cool is because probably in 10 years, I don't think we're going to have cash anymore. It'll all be digitized. You'll pay with your phone. You'll pay with a mobile wallet. Think about if you use any of Apple Pay or have a mobile wallet. All these phenomenons are relatively 10 years new. That's why payments is cool, is because it's never stale. And the challenges there are actually trying to fun to overcome. And they're all rooted in trying to meet customers' needs and expectations. And that's what these companies have been engineering. And of course, it's money.
Yeah.
And so money always matters.
Well, I mean, you think of it like the world of finances has always, even before digital was really a thing, there's aspects of digital because it's the idea of I have X amount of money in the bank, but it's not just a stack of dollars that is that exact number sitting. It's a lot of moving around things that are not tangible at any certain time. So it makes some sense, I guess, that it's really a digital world is the banking world first and foremost, and now it's about how you keep doing it differently. But to your point, and one of the questions I wanted to ask, which is customer or consumer behavior, right? And we've talked a lot in different areas of not just Bridgestone, but the industry of transportation or the industry of consumer buying. It was already shifting late 2010s, right? And then things accelerated by the pandemic.
Right.
How has how were things, I guess, trending in 18, 19, and then what was either accelerated or made drastically different from a consumer perspective in regards to CFNA?
You nailed the timeline, Keith. 2010, it was kind of getting stale, and then it's really since 2010 has been accelerating. The big move has been everything's digital, including at checkout. So even when someone's at a physical store location, or perhaps how you buy on Amazon, or even through a Tire Rack, one of our dealer affiliates, everything's digital, that checkout piece, and they want to be easy, quick. They would love to get some extra points or coupons attached to it. And that's been the big accelerant, especially here since the pandemic, is now people expect it to be easy, quick, and have options. They just don't want to maybe pay one way. They might want to split it up into payments of 4. And then last but not least, sir, they're really looking for, pay me. I want some loyalty. I want a coupon. Do you have a coupon? Or if I don't have something dollars off now, will I get it off later? Which we've been doing for a while, we being Bridgestone, with some of our epic promotions where you could buy, get $70 off, but if you put it on your CFNA card, you tilt it up to $100.
Yeah.
People love that. Buy more, save more is a concept, and that's something I learned before Bridgestone, is people want value. And when you can offer them extra value at checkout, and that's been accelerated in the digital age, that is really part of the phenomenon that has been driving all this innovation and making it digital, simple, and hopefully you get qualified easy too. It's less intimidating to get underwritten and getting a line of credit than it was in 2010. That's the other piece that's accelerated, is the ease of people to get credit in some form of financing has become also less intimidating. And we try to follow along. We want to be, instead of 10 steps to go get your CFNA card, it's 5. Yeah. And we just want to make that information flow quickly. And let's face it, at the end of the day, when you're paying for tires and service, even if you love our stores, it's not the most glamorous transaction. It's not buying a 60-inch TV or a new Sonos sound system or a new guitar. You'd rather not have to spend the money. So we're trying to ease and create that good emotion and connection to where people feel good about the back end of doing business with us. Yeah. You don't want to do it again.
You don't want to add the difficulty to something that is already
precisely
for some and for many, just like you said, an experience that we just want to get over with and move on to other things.
Another fun fact before we go on,
sure,
that validates that is 50% of Americans, this has been true, and I've been quoting this for the last handful of years, but it's still true today. 50% of Americans are ill-prepared for a surprise financing need of $500 or more. So just imagine, when they come in our store, half the people likely, and it doesn't make a difference how you look or how you dress or whatnot, half the people aren't ready to spend that $1,000, which is probably a set of 4. And so, once again, we have that way to say, we got you covered.
Yeah.
This isn't so bad. And my team feels that way, and it makes us, once again, it's another reason why we feel cool, because we actually feel like we're helping customers and making them feel better about something that may be not the funnest thing in the world.
Yeah. Well, I think there's different aspects, too, of that peace of mind feeling. So my wife and I had taken a road trip at some point in our Bridgestone careers down to Florida, and I had an issue, and I had to stop into a Tires Plus. And we were talking to the guy, and it was in Gainesville, Florida, so where the University of Florida is located. And we were just kind of talking to him as Bridgestone employees, curious and learning, and which I guess is totally normal, right? Everybody's doing that. But I said, what is your usual customer base? And he goes, obviously it's a lot of college kids, and he's like, and a lot of them pay with CFNA cards because it's something that parents set up for their kids to be away from home. They have problems. That whole peace of mind for both to handle things like that.
You're spot on. That's the other thing we try to sell as a val prop, is you can do authorized users on our card. And all 3 of my daughters, I've got one left in college. Yeah, she's got one of my cards, and I know she can't charge other things on it, which makes me feel good. That's peace of mind.
It's a controlled cost control here.
Yes. She's not going to go in and do something else. But all seriousness, that does make it is a peace of mind for other folks that you can go ahead and create that other card that can have use. And we are national. Yep. We have a very large footprint between all that. And so, a CFNA card can actually be accepted at about 7,500 locations in the U.S.
Yeah.
So our breadth and depth of reach and touch points is pretty immense. And that also makes it fun.
There you go. Well, we're turning this now into a parenting podcast. You get your Drive Guard tires, and you get them a CFNA card, and they're going to be able to set themselves up to overcome a flat and get some unexpected service, and it's all taken care of.
That's right. For all the road trips, Keith, like you and I used to do, life would be good.
There you go. So let's talk a little bit about some of the fun things. We talked about the trends and the things happening in the industry for CFNA right now. You just went through a rebrand in the summer of 2022. Would love to know about the decision behind that, why now, and why the direction, but also some exciting things that are coming up as following the rebrand on the horizon on the roadmap.
Yeah, thank you, Keith, and that's why I'm excited to be able to unveil this to folks that maybe don't know us quite as well, and you're helping me do that, so thank you. But CFNA.com would be a great place for our podcast listening audience to go to. We just did we upgraded we have a website. That's where you can go and not only get credit, but you can pay your bill and check us out. We also have educational tools out there because we feel strongly about trying to educate consumers and not just where some would say banks take advantage of them. We don't want to be that other side of the equation. But to your good question, at CFNA, we just rebranded. Our brand and our logo really hadn't been touched in over 20 years. So we decided that commensurate with another product they're going to let me announce here today on your podcast, this was a great time to rebrand. So we have a brand new logo. Those that can see me on the podcast out on YouTube at the right time, go up. But CFNA.com has that brand new branding, and we've really condensed the name. Part of that is we're no longer known as Credit First National Association.
So I was already wrong off the top.
That's
you started
okay,
0 for
mate.
1.
No, that's part of the education
there
process.
You go.
Sir, is that now we're just going to be known as CFNA.
Learn by doing.
Just like Citibank used to be known as their city. So we're now CFNA, but we rebranded, new color schema, new logo. It's when you go out and click and look, it's a circular logo, kind of meant to mimic, what we do and some of our other branding elements at Bridgestone. Plus, even it's got new colors, but it's got the Firestone red in it.
There you go.
And so that's the whole idea. Is this was a great time to just refresh who we are, our brand values, what we're about, and we came up with the idea. It was fully endorsed by an integrated approach with the rest of Bridgestone marketing, and they thought it was a great time. And so this is a chance for us just to reattach who we are, why, and reaffirm those brand values, and just look a little bit more fresh on all fronts out in the marketplace. So it's live as of July 1st.
Okay. And then you said I was quite a tease in there. You said you're about to announce something here on the podcast, which was not planned, but I welcome the opportunity to break news here in the studio.
I'm here to surprise and delight you, Keith, because right here in my hands, you can't see it if you're on the podcast, but once again, you'll see if you go out. I have a new card that we're going to be launching early next year with MasterCard. It's going to be a co-branded credit card. And it's got the F Shield on it, but it's issued by CFNA, but it's with MasterCard. And it'll be currently our program is just, you can only use the current CFNA private label card in our stores. You can't use it anywhere else, as we just joked. This card, I'll have to be careful about who I give it to, because you can use it anywhere. And
the last daughter is almost out of college,
That's
Brian.
correct, so I'm going to wait. But she'll get one. But this card can be used. We're going to have still our private label card for some customers, and then there are other customers who want more value.
Sure.
They're more loyal, and they want to earn more points. This will be just like any other travel card or other card that you get with cash back.
Yeah.
And this will be good for earning points that you can redeem for cash back at our stores.
Well, there you go.
So we're going to have a whole point schema along with this, but this is the brand new card, and you know what, Keith, I'll make sure you're qualified for one. So.
That's worth enough for you to visit in here today.
Yeah, so
all right.
But we're launching this next year. Some of our current customers will get the new card. Some will get a new rebranded private label card and stay exactly where they're at, or they'll select up. And then this will be a new way we can originate new accounts between the two products. And we think what that'll do is just propel us to serve more customers, because some people will say, well, this card doesn't have enough value for me. So now for those customers that want more value, more points, and some more earning power, this will be their ticket. And we're also going to have a new rewards program on our current program that will also accelerate your ability to buy more and save more by virtue of discounts at the store. And that's what's coming out first quarter of next year. We'll start this process. And we're excited too, because we're working with MasterCard, another global brand that loves us, that's going to be great to cozy up with us and hopefully add more value to us, not only here in the States, but who knows, maybe part of our mobility solutions play, this could help some of our other countries outside of the Americas also create some new relationships with MasterCard's help that could extend to a global reach.
Well, I think, we've talked a lot on the different conversations of the podcast here with the different topics of co-creation, right? And so we think a lot of it in the tire or the mobility solutions, the technology space. But again, in every part of Bridgestone, we're looking for ways with industry leaders to co-create or to partner together to drive change and value. And so a nice example of it right there.
That is, thank you for that. That is, you're exactly right. This is a chance where they're going to teach us some things. They're going to help drive new customers into our stores, both company-owned stores as well as our dealer affiliates. So we just look this as a co-creation win. Yeah. And if MasterCard could be here on the podcast, they would express how excited they are. They will love having our Chevron on their partnership list. And I think we're going to feel the same way once this gets going. And it's going to take it a couple of years for it to really seed and nurture and for the program to grow. But we think this has the opportunity to double the size of CFNA.
Oh, wow.
And if we can do that for the company and help drive more customers, that's where I have lots of excited business partners who are anxious to try to get this card up and running. And my hat's off to my team because they're the ones that are helping co-create, partner. And it's a big lift like any new product is for us. But it's one of the new products that Bridgestone's excited to bring to the market, like some of the rest of the products that you've had on the podcast. We're trying to keep up with them.
Yeah. Well, I think that you mentioned the team behind making all of this happen. I think that's a nice place for us to go as we kind of wrap up our conversation together. I wanted to touch on as well, but for really just for people to learn more about as we talk about co-creation or investing in new things and learning in the trends of the industry. We recently had a strategic investment in something called Car IQ. That's an autonomous vehicle payment solution. Mm-hmm. So as we talk about the worlds of where all of this stuff ties together in an autonomous vehicle and a platform, that's something that could be coming down the road and something to learn from. But I do want to spend the last couple of minutes on the team because we have our team as a pillar of our North Star, something that Paulo and our leadership has been very focused on, the culture that we have at Bridgestone and supporting our people to support the company. And I think CFNA has continuously been a really shining example of that. 3 years running a best place to workplace in Cleveland, Ohio, and in Northeast Ohio. But we've seen even internally the engagement around learning about the North Star, communicating around the direction that we're going. The group at CFNA always seems to be very engaged in it. What makes that happen?
Yeah, thanks, Keith, for that recognition. We just won our third year in a row of being recognized as a top workplace in the greater Cleveland area, and that's done via survey, like the Bridgestone engagement survey we just all went through, and we work at it. And what we've done is just one facet, but one of the things we've tried to do on the North Star, Keith, is personalize it. We've taken the framework of the North Star, and I'd encourage us to any leader that's listening that's on our roster, take it and then make it yours, customize it, and show it to some folks and get some ideas. And for instance, one of those ideas is we created a dashboard, a North Star dashboard. I update it at the end of every month. I put a little narrative associated with it. It's color-coded. And I think that's helped drive our engagement because it helps drive vision, where we're going. And we talk about it too, not only how CFNA is doing, but I talked about how proud I am to be with Bridgestone and Firestone. We make sure we always reference the greater good, the enterprise hat.
Yep.
And talk about what else is going on, because even if maybe we're having a tough time, usually somebody else is doing something good that we can attach into. And that combination of a communication plus personalizing the North Star, now E8, and pulling those elements and talking about them continuously, but making them relevant is where you get the engagement scores going, and then people want to be a part of that. And I think last piece, Keith, just be genuine.
Yeah.
I like to try, and we've always had a fine relationship. Let me learn a little bit about you personally. Let me learn a little bit about you professionally. Let me show I care in genuine ways. And when you throw that combination in there, including good coaching and goal setting, people want to do good work.
Yeah.
a lot of times they just don't know what's at stake. When you tell them what's at stake, they will rise up and you can rally anything together. And that's what I've seen in my career, and I've especially seen it my 6 years in CFNA, and I feel a heavy duty to keep that going.
Well, I mean, it's a nice kind of way to cap off what is an exciting time for CFNA right now, which is part of an exciting time, we always say, or hear Paulo as well reinforce exciting things happening across Bridgestone, this being one of them. We covered financial topics. We covered leadership and teammate engagement. We talked about sad Cleveland sports, technology, and future. This podcast had something for everyone, I feel, in here.
Let's hope so, as well as teaching maybe some tips and tricks on paying.
There were fun facts. It was great.
Well,
yeah.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed being here, and I appreciate the opportunity to tell the story about what we're doing. And once again, I'm just one of many. We all have so many good stories to tell, and I think the podcast is great for that, so thank you.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by.
You're welcome.
So you heard it here first, some big things ahead for CFNA as they carve their own path in co-creation and growth with industry-leading partners like MasterCard to help drive peace of mind, flexibility, and a stronger relationship with our consumers and customers. As always, going to give you a rundown of how you can engage with us. Remember that every episode of Thrive is available wherever it is you listen to podcasts. You can hear Season 3 and forward, or watch Season 3 and forward, that is, also on the Bridgestone America's YouTube page. And of course, wherever you hear us or watch us, feel free to give us a rating, a review, tell us how we're doing, or you can always send a question, episode idea, or feedback via email as well to thrivepodcast@bfusa.com. Thanks for listening. I'm Keith Cawley, telling you to keep on keeping on, and remember that at Bridgestone, today, tomorrow, together, we thrive. Be good, everybody.